Ladies and gents, greetings. Thank you for tuning into Firstlight Cloud Xchange, your cloud solutions center. Now, every day, almost every day, we get a lot of calls, a lot of emails with a lot of security-related questions. How do we protect our network? How do we protect our business? Should I be clicking on this email? What do I need to do to prevent ransomware? So, as you can imagine, there's a lot of questions out there and a lot of people need answers. So backed by popular demand, we brought back Mr. Rich Garner from Comcast Business Masergy. Rich, welcome again. Good to see you again.
Pleasure to be here.
So we want to discuss, our customers want to know and prospects want to know more about security. What do we need to do to protect the environment completely? Before we dive into details, just give us an overall umbrella picture.
Well, I think you bring up security, and the one thing I'd like to share with your clients and prospective clients is being compliant does not mean you're secure. And really having a good security posture involves being aware of the bad guys out there, what they're trying to accomplish. Are they sending you emails they want you to click on? Are they trying to attack you in a ransomware attack? There's a lot of different things that can go on in terms of the bad guys coming after you. So I'm excited to be here with you today and to share with you why Comcast Business Masergy's security portfolio, one of our 3 pillars, is an outstanding opportunity for your clients to protect themselves from the bad guys. Number 1, we're global in our security capability. We have 3 SOCs, Plano, Texas, London, UK, Manila, Philippines, and we'll be adding another one in the western state shortly. So we have great coverage from that perspective. We have 23 years of experience in this space. So we didn't just become a security provider last week or last year. We've been doing this for a while. And the personnel that we have, those security analysts that really make a difference when analysis of your client's environments needs to take place, are the best of the best. So today, I think what makes sense, we should talk about an offering called EDR, Endpoint Detection and Response.
Yes, please.
And we provide a service that's based on SentinelOne.
Okay.
But as we were discussing earlier, you said, Rich, people can go out and buy SentinelOne, or they can go out and buy SentinelOne's managed services. And they can. But in our case, we're going beyond what you are doing when you just buy software, or even beyond their own managed service, which is really more of a monitoring service. We are going to be there for your clients to help them if, in fact, the bad guys are really good at what they do. So what we've seen in our 10 years so far, over the last year or so, working with SentinelOne's capabilities, is just amazing. I was sharing with you a story of a partner in New Jersey that had asked one of their clients to take advantage of our services, and in the middle of that implementation, guess what?
They got hit?
They got hit. You remembered, they didn't get hit in the middle of the implementation, but they had already been exposed to ransomware software on the network. But because we introduced this offering, our managed capabilities, we were able to say right there and then, you have an issue, and we're going to help fix it. So when I'm able to share that story, it makes me really feel happy, because the reality is we all hear stories and we see things and we share and we try to educate, but this has just been so timely that it's really resonated.
You know, since we have you here with us, I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that we have a seasoned sales engineer, security sales engineer, who is answering all our questions. A good portion of our customers and a lot of people we reach out to, meet with, they're small businesses, right? They have 20, 30 staff members. They do not necessarily have a big IT budget. Nonetheless, the threat is real to them, you know? The threat is a threat to them or to a large multi-billion-dollar organization. So at a very minimum level, assuming they have minimal IT infrastructure today, what needs to happen? What should we put in so that they have basic security, and then mid-level security, and then we'll discuss top-level security?
Sure. So I mentioned our SentinelOne managed solution by Comcast Business Masergy.
Okay.
And Trevor Parks, who is our leader of our security offering solutions, has said many times, if I only had one offering that I would ask a client to take advantage of, it would be the EDR, endpoint detection response. You'd mentioned small business is a cornerstone of your business, and we like to say that small business is big business.
Yep.
So we certainly respect the spectrum of clientele, no matter if they're small or big, but since today we're going to talk about more on the smaller side, the EDR solution is great. For under $1,000 and way under, they can protect 50 devices. So listen, when your client's reputation is at risk, that's different. You can have a phone system go down, you can have a data network go down, but when someone is attacked by ransomware or has the integrity of the company attacked by a third party, that's a deal breaker, okay? You really need to be protected. Now, as your clients decide, we want to do more with Comcast Business Masergy. We have a managed detection and response offering. We have CASB, Cloud Access Security Broker offerings. So we have a lot of different things we can do, but what we don't want to do is frankly suffocate your clients with too much information and just make it harder than it needs to be.
Right.
So as we were chatting earlier, we really want to start with the EDR solution because it's a great solution, and for people who've been in the industry, as I referred to earlier, Trevor Parks, more than 30 years, he believes it's the right solution to start off with, which makes me feel really comfortable sharing with the audience and yourself that it's the right solution to start with.
So, great. EDR, endpoint detection and response, right? That basically means all the laptops, desktops, etc. Servers. Now, I apologize, I'm not sure. Does that come with a firewall, or the firewall is additional on the top of that?
That would be different. That would be a different service. So, for instance, as we were talking earlier today, we spent a lot of time together today. We were talking about our new SD-WAN offering, Secure Network Edge, okay?
Correct.
In that case, you're getting a managed firewall there, you're getting the SD-WAN experience, the prioritization, the redundancy, all the things that someone wants for someone maybe who's a single location or has multiple locations. As we were mentioning earlier, you may have a client that's a franchisor, right? And they may have 20 franchisees. In that case, our Secure Network Edge offering would be a great solution. So think of it this way. For someone who's really looking for a really good security posture, be it single site or someone with a budget of $250 or someone with hundreds of sites with a budget of $500,000 a month, we're the right provider no matter where they fit.
I want you to take note of that. Here's Comcast Business Masergy. Just threw a number, $250. I bet you never thought that you could buy security of any kind for that kind of money, right? Well, that's the good news we bring to you today. That yes, now that solution is available. You can get top-grade security backed up by a security operations center that is 24/7, 365, fully managed, fully monitored, and any threat mitigated in real time. You are able to get that service today.
Absolutely.
Ransomware.
Yes.
Educate us on ransomware.
So ransomware is a great industry, actually. If you're in the business of ransom, for the bad guys. For the bad guys. It's not prosecuted, very profitable. So it's a tough road for our law enforcement organizations. So here's what we're doing with ransomware. As I mentioned earlier, our endpoint detection response.
Before you say what you're doing for ransomware, from a customer's perspective, explain how does ransomware get in? What are the telltale signs? How do they get in? How does a customer know that they potentially have ransomware bait in their system right now?
Well, they probably know when they get an email where they can't get into any of their systems and they're asking for payment, usually through a cryptocurrency. So how it gets in, the bad guys, as I generally...
They are bad guys. Let's call a spade a spade.
They're bad.
Yes.
They're bad. And they're in different parts of the world. They may be amongst us here in the US or they might be anywhere in the world, but they're going to plant their software in your client's locations, and over a period of time they're going to go laterally, and they're going to see a lot of different topologies that are occurring within the network, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and then they're going to deploy. In some cases, they wait almost half a year, 180 days, and once that happens, can't get into your systems, and they blackmail you. Essentially, ransomware.
Yes, it's ransom.
Is blackmail.
Correct.
Blackmail. So in the past, most people thought, I'll just get cybersecurity insurance. And We all have insurance. You have life insurance,
Yes.
homeowners, car,
Yes.
and it's great. But it doesn't change the fact,
That those things can still happen to you.
right, you just think there's a monetary win maybe at the end
Yeah.
of the day, or maybe not so much
Protection.
of a loss.
Right.
Exactly. So in the case of ransomware policies, or cybersecurity policies, they've become much more stringent. In fact, a lot of the insurance companies are mandating an EDR solution. And you may say, Rich, I'll go out and get EDR software. But that's not enough. The insurance companies are now mandating that a third party manage this implementation of EDR. Or they may dictate an MDR solution, which is managed detection and response, which is more of in our world, an outtasking of a number of different security capabilities to Comcast Business Masergy. So when it comes to ransomware, the first thing I would say is everyone needs to step up to an EDR solution. And EDR, as much as it's great against ransomware, it replaces antivirus. So all of your clients that are watching this video right now, I would say 99.999%, I don't want to say 100 because there may be one person who doesn't, has antivirus and has a subscription and pays that money. So there's an opportunity for budget displacement for you and your clients to entertain a better technology, one that is more recent. Believe it or not, antivirus software in the commercial marketplace, 1989. That's when it was rolled out. And as we were talking earlier, let's look at network. 1989.
Yep.
Private lines, frame relay,
Yep.
ATM maybe. Think about it. Those are technologies that, again, there are some private lines out there, don't get me wrong, but primarily those technologies have been replaced.
Yes.
So it just makes sense that there's newer and better technologies that your clients can take advantage of. One of them is EDR, and we just can't speak more about it or
I want to elaborate on that. So the insurance requirement is third-party managed EDR.
Well,
Very important.
It's going to happen more than not. I can't say there is an insurance company that is willing to take a risk on it not happening because there's so many insurance companies. But what we're seeing is a tremendous trend towards that third party.
So you want to have third-party managed EDR. Now you may be thinking, well, I've got a IT firm that manages our IT network. We have endpoint EDR service, and he manages it. But that's not a security operations center. That is not 24/7, 365. That small IT firm does take a break. They're not monitoring your network 24/7, 365. Only a carrier with a fully stocked SOC can offer that complete management. And that's what you want for your network.
Absolutely. There are going to be people out there that say they have a guy who manages their network or manages their security landscape. And the reality is that guy sleeps at night.
Yep.
And we asked a client a few years ago, who manages your network at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday? And the client got white, just went, like a ghost, because they realized that they might be compliant, but they weren't secure. And we talked about that earlier. And it's just a whole different game. And with us, we're 24/7, hundreds of security analysts, eyes on glass. And we talked earlier about going out and getting your own software. People do that all the time. But here's the thing. If your security guy or gal is sleeping on a Sunday night, when they get an email...
And they deserve it.
And they deserve it.
Right.
Saying that there's a problem, but they don't look at that email until 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning when they wake up. The bad guys, giving them 3 or 4 hours, it's not going to be a good outcome. It's just not.
Absolutely. These are very important points to consider. I don't want to ask this question, but I'll ask anyway. What happens if they already get hit by ransomware? They're in trouble. Now they're in really bad trouble. Is there any recourse? Can they call us? Can they do something about it?
Well, it's kind of difficult to answer that question when it's already happened and we haven't been involved. But I think what you need to do, it's kind of like when you have, unfortunate, a house on fire, right?
Yeah.
You got to rebuild that house. So your clients need to rebuild their security posture once they get attacked, because it's not one and done.
Yeah.
Right? Once you get attacked, doesn't mean they won't come back for more.
Yep.
So I think any client that has a concern or has had an incident before should certainly contact you.
Yes.
And let's together sit down and discuss a appropriate security posture going forward. And as much as the past is the past and you have to deal with it, let's look forward to a positive future.
Well, let's not wait for that to happen. Let's already take a look at your infrastructure today. Let's assess that. Do a pen test, penetration test, maybe, that will expose all the gaps. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is the right approach, isn't it?
Well, pen tests are great, but it won't protect you against ransomware.
No, I know, but it will at least expose the gaps, and then we can potentially recommend solutions that will plug those gaps.
Absolutely. And to that point, for instance, just like the analogy of pen testing not really having as big an impact on ransomware specifically, antivirus.
Yes.
All of your clients, as we mentioned, have antivirus, but antivirus doesn't do anything against ransomware. EDR, endpoint detection and response, with our solution, is really going to make a difference for your clients.
Absolutely.
I promise.
Sure, and that's a great place to start. So engage us, call us, we will bring in Rich, we will bring in the power of Comcast, and we will protect your network.
You can count on Comcast Business Masergy to really put your security posture in a place it should be, and that's on the road to protection and being able to sleep at night as well.
Yes, that's what in gold, right?
Absolutely.
Rich, thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate all the inside information and how to go about it. And thank you for tuning in. There's more information on the link embedded below. Once you click it, you will find ways to connect with us as well. Thank you.